Living pain here. Well, I got to start off by saying I'm injured again, and you know what? As hard as this is for probably you to hear it, because it's always something, and these calves of mine are driving me crazy. It's been, oh man, on and off, 6 months pretty much. And today I decided, okay, you know what? I know it's all mental, and it's stress, and it's tension, and I think maybe some anxiety and blah, blah, blah. So I figured, you know what? I felt them today, and I don't feel a knot. Like in the past, I would feel a knot, and then you roll the knot out, you wait a while, and the knot goes away, and you start running. And once I'd get going again, it could go for years without a problem. Today I decide, okay, you know what? Yeah, I can feel them. They're a little sore. Is it mental? Is it just, there's no knot? So maybe it's just like sore legs or something like that. Maybe it'll just go away once you start running, that sort of thing. So I go for a run and doing a decent pace, but I can feel them. They're sore, but they're not, cramping up or anything until 12 minutes into the run. And then basically at 12 minutes into the run, I could just feel them like, and what's really weird is it's not one, it's both of them. And it's virtually in the same spot, which is incredibly unusual. Like I've never had that happen before. It's the entire calf, so the meaty part of the calf up at the top, then down the sides, and then even on the inside. If I was to give an example of how it might feel, I almost feel like it, almost like a stress fracture. And it can't be, because it's, in the muscle areas, and, it's the weirdest thing. And of course I'm YouTubing and Google searching and all this stuff, and I can't find somebody that is identifying it the same way. Now, of course, there's certain websites which, talk about stress and anxiety and how it can manifest in the calves and things, which definitely I do believe that could be part of it. I do know that my gait, the way I walk and stuff, as I mentioned before, is kind of making fun of it or light of it, walking like an old man. So it's, and I am, it's just, it's really, it's disheartening is the word, because I start my official half Ironman training on the 15th, which is next Monday, 8 days from now. And now I emailed my coach, Mark Allen, and I told him what's going on. And, if anyone knows, it's him. Anytime I've had issues and talked to him about it, it's like ultimate wisdom. This guy knows everything about everything. And he was once the guy who told me about the calves, that it's often stress related, something in here. Calves are a big area doing that, plus dehydration, big area. So anyway, it's so darn frustrating, because I've never felt this before. And it's just, I shouldn't have ran today. After the 12 minutes, I was like, what did you do? You should not run until such time that you feel absolutely no pain whatsoever. But I thought maybe it's just stretching the muscles or doing something. And when I bike, it doesn't bother me. Today I ended up, so I ran the 12 minutes, and then of course I'm like, oh man, I can't even walk. Although I will say the pace was pretty good. I felt effortless. So I call Alice. She's shopping, grocery shopping, and so I say, okay, by the time she gets to me, I'll start walking home, see if I can get home. And then if she's done, she'll come pick me up. Anyway, I managed to get home just as she called me. So even the walk home was somewhat painful, especially there was a bridge, and you go under the bridge and then you have to climb back up. And man, I thought I was gonna just have to lie on the side of the road and wait for her to pick me up. And it was a little bit chilly, and you're sweating, and you're starting to get colder, and it was like, oh man. So then it's just, and then I'm exhausted. I got home, and it's just so tired, and I had to, there's work I want to do, and I go, okay, I'm gonna lie down, get a little bit of a rest. And it was one of those rests where I couldn't even, I was like trying to keep my eyes open. I put something on YouTube that would be 4 minutes long, 4 minutes, something about the calves. I'd start watching, boom, I'm out. And then I wake up. It's like, oh man, try to stay awake. So I couldn't stay awake. So for like 2 hours, it was like, and when the 2 hours was done, I started feeling better. Then I started looking back and going, you know what? My heart rates in bed have been, or resting heart rates, sleeping resting heart rates, have been, they should be in around the 42, 44. And my average heart rate, I think, is up around 50, 52. So there's definitely something physically wrong. And so I'm running it through my mind, and I'm like, and just even feeling lethargic. So I go, man, what can it be? It's, I know for sure that, as I mentioned yesterday, there's some things I need to do at work based on some new goals that I need to kick myself into gear and do, which I haven't yet kicked myself into that gear. And I think part of it is because I know that's so important, but I also know it's so important to do my working out and everything. And if you've been watching the vlog for very long, you, I'm sure, have started to see that I'm one of these people that's laser focused. I'm like a dog on a bone. Once I get my mind set to do something, then that's what I'm gonna do, is just focus totally on that. And so it's coming up with that transition between still, working out, eating properly, but then shifting part of my focus to this objective at work, that if I wasn't working out, if I wasn't having to watch diet, I would just work 10, 12 hours a day, and I'd probably within a month have everything done. So, but now I'm trying to juggle the two, and anyway, I'm still trying to get stuff straight in my head. Again, the worst part is these calves. I can hardly frickin' walk. Today, though, after tonight, I still have to get, what time is it now? 9 o'clock. So I've got to put this together, and then I've got to get to start some of that work stuff I was talking about that I want to get done before tomorrow. And so I ended up doing weights because I didn't, it's like, okay, you're injured lower, you can do a couple things. You can go, and trust me, don't think I haven't thought of this, where you just get so frustrated and go, oh, fuck it, I'm not working out, I'm gonna rest for 2 weeks, I'm not gonna do anything, and which is kind of depressing, because if I decided, okay, I'm just gonna eat properly, but I'm gonna rest for a week or 2 weeks and do virtually nothing, then I'm worried, because I go, man, you have all these gains, with your cardio and with your muscle, and specifically on the muscle side, is that if I stop training for 2 weeks, yeah, I'll start dropping weight, but I'm going to start losing muscle as well. And that's going to change things up a bit in terms of my body type. And then I'm going to have to restart over again, which that might be the thing that I need to do. I'm not sure. I'm going to wait to hear back from Mark. And, so, but you get to that point where you just want to throw it all away. It's like, oh man, this sucks. And, you just want to, so then instead of doing that, even though I had sore legs, even though I can't walk, which you saw in the video in terms of me doing weights today, I pushed myself downstairs and I said, okay, let's do the workout, because I think I was supposed to technically do my weights yesterday, and I didn't want to delay it another day because then you start losing muscle, and I've just earned too much. And I go, okay, is your upper body affected by your calves? No, not really. But then the other part of me is like, well, you've got this work stuff you want to do. Maybe you shouldn't work out. Maybe you should spend the time that you're working out, that, hour or whatever, jumping into the work stuff. So it's like all this stuff is going through my head, right? In terms of, it feels like I'm in a bit of a free fall. And I don't want to, again, throw the baby out with the bathwater. And trust me, I've been thinking about, okay, you've been going virtually now. The 17th of March will be basically a year. I think I officially started April 2nd. So if I factor it all together, come in these next 2 weeks, I will have worked out, well, if a year is 360 days, I would have probably worked out in this 320 or maybe 330, maybe 335. So I mean, like virtually every single day. Yet at the same time, since, for almost 6 months there, or 5 months, I was hardly running. I just don't get it. And then the other thing I found is I feel a little groggy, getting a little lazy, it feels like for me, which I'm not a lazy person, and I'm not a procrastinator, so I'm finding myself procrastinating a bit. And again, the only thing that I look at, I was saying to Alice, I was like, man, maybe it's this Malo 5, because I do know that, again, I'm not into smoking pot or anything like that. That's just not me. And doing this, I like having my Fridays in the Pig and Whistle just to relax. And I think that this Malo 5, which is an edible, which I've had edibles before, and they kick your frickin' ass, man. And I think that's what's happened. If you look at my sleep over the weekend or whatever, like yesterday I had over 10 hours of sleep. I was in bed like 13 hours. So I've realized, you know what, it's not for me at this point. Just too much A going on, and B, it's just not me. It's not, I just can't sustain that and don't want to. For me to become some lazy guy who's procrastinating, it's not in my nature. I don't do that. And I don't know. So anyway, I'm now starting to just things like peel back this. So, no more Malo 5s. I'm still staying off the beer. I have got to get myself refocused on my priorities and how I'm going to do it. So, because it's not, just do one and not the other. It's a matter of I've got to do all these things. So mentally, how am I going to prepare to do them? And then the other added thing that I have is, okay, you're injured. How are you going to incorporate work around your injuries, still maintain your cardio, still maintain your strength, reprioritize what you're doing, with the business career-wise. So, yeah, it's, and I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's just not, you have too many regrets, it's like I'm not going to do that. Yet at the same time, I need to limit my ambition because I'm someone that just will walk through walls, right? And I just laugh because it seems that, and maybe it's age, I don't know, I'm sure it is, but it's like I can't win lately, it's like I'm feeling injury free, go for a run, I slip, I fall, I hurt my wrist. Now, today I was at least able to do weights. I was doing chest and my wrist was okay, but I couldn't do a push-up. I could do a push-up maybe on my knuckles, but I couldn't. Where's the hands? Yeah, they're getting closer where I can, at least you could see here, that's the most I can pull that hand back, where this hand goes all the way back. These are the trials and tribulations. And I guess I would call these the moments of truth. In that you can work through these and they become nothing, or you can let these things you could use it as an excuse and whatever. All I know is I love running, and it's one of the greatest joys that I have. It puts me in a really great mental space, and I can't do it, and I haven't been able to do it for a while. And it's got to be stress, it's got to be anxiety, it's got to be, yeah, I guess stress is, I don't know how you define it, but it's something definitely mentally that, anyway, so my legs, my arm, when I first started lifting weights, you got your shoulder, you got all these injuries, which you feel like this old man, which I guess I am technically, although I don't feel like it, at least not here. And all I could say is you have no idea. This, I guess, out of the 300 and where are we at right now, 37 days, this has probably been the toughest, yet it's interesting. I got to keep looking at the positive. Like, dude, you're into your old pair of jeans that you haven't been into. Dude, you're getting stronger. That's why I didn't want to not do my weights, because I had shoulder issues before that I've gained muscle, and now I can, work through it where I don't feel that. I was hoping to get rid of my LA Fitness membership because I bought the squat rack, and then I signed up for this half Ironman, so now I'm going to have to go swimming, which I hate swimming. And now I'm thinking, well, if I can't run, I guess I'll really can't afford to miss swim workouts, which swimming's not fun. It's so boring. But anyway, you can see what I'm explaining to you. Just, can you feel the brain firing in about 20 different directions and not having a clear vision? And it's like the only thing I know until I figure it out is, Brian, just put one foot in front of the other, one in front of the other. And what I mean by that is keep working out, keep eating properly. Even though your head's scrambled right now, just keep the faith. Just keep, and let it unscramble. But it doesn't do anyone good to have your head scrambled and then for you not to continue doing the good stuff, because then it becomes a double whammy. Because my head will eventually unscramble and I'll have a plan. And then I'll look back and go, oh shit, now I feel like I'm starting over again. And I don't want to feel like I'm starting over. And I guess this is really, everyone goes through this stuff. Everyone goes through this. And I guess this vlog is a mix of losing the 50 pounds, and as part of losing the 50 pounds, it's also getting in shape, and now it's transforming into setting a goal with the 70.3 Ironman, or the half Ironman in Calgary. And then all of a sudden you're not even starting the training yet, and a week before you start, you're like totally messed up. Oh man. Yet at the same time, I'd rather be on a journey than not be on a journey, and try to figure this stuff out. When you think about it, it's, not life or death. It's a first world problem. It's, so you gotta, I'm an optimistic person, as you can tell. Glass is always half full. Then I think of my calves and I go, this is such a weird sensation, to the point that let's say you go for a run, you haven't ran in a long time, or you do a marathon. That's a perfect, even if you're in great shape and you do a marathon, it doesn't matter how good a shape you are. When you finish a marathon, you can hardly bend your knees, right? It's so sore, and you can't run or anything like that. And I was thinking / hoping that in a way that's how my calves feel, is that they're sore like all over, but I've never experienced that. Even if you do a marathon or whatever, it's always usually the knees and it's your thighs, but never the calves. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe this is just, the 10K you did, this other run, maybe it's just your calves are sore, like in a marathon where your quads are sore. Maybe this is just your calves working out, and it's a really good thing. And then once you can become pain-free with them, then and let them rest up, that they're going to be stronger. And I'm playing all this stuff through my head. Oh man. That's like the Muppets, Fuzzy Wuzzy. Oh man. So yeah. So food-wise, I did pretty good today. Right now, I'm like thinking, oh man, I'd like an ice cream, but I think I'm at 1,400 calories. Weighed in today at 202.8. So again, retaining that water. And again, the only thing I could think of is, okay, dude, if you didn't have your Malo 5s and eat some chocolate and some candy, you'd probably be down to 198. And it's like, these are mini sabotage things. You gotta stop that. Oh man. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta put this video together. I gotta do some work. And tomorrow's a new day. That's it for me. Living Pain, over and out. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.